गाइस, मेरा नाम है ध्रुव और आप देख रहे हैं डीजे रिदम्स का यूट्यूब चैनल। आज मैं बात करने वाला हूँ अबाउट अ गाइडलाइन फॉर सिंगर एंड सॉन्ग राइटर्स prepping for music production, which basically means is when you find a music producer, what all do you need to tell him so that he can start applying his brain to your song. The first thing is the track name. Track name is very important because as soon as you write a track name, your song has a theme. From an idea, it has become it has like a letterhead. It has like a direction which you can go into. The second thing is a BPM. When you give it a BPM range or at least a BPM, you sort of decide its genre or the genre it can blend itself into. So you really need to give it a BPM. Also, if you practice with a BPM on, it'll help your vocal performance a lot. You'll know where to breathe, where to not breathe. It'll make your composition better. It'll make your song tight. It'll make it feel perfectly on beat. Obviously, if you're a singer-songwriter, it's kudos if you can play an instrument. But let's say I've had this query. A lot of the people come to me with half composed songs, and I'll tell you, often I go to the studio half with half written songs. I record if there is some commercial project, if there's some big project that I need a specific mic for, I can go and hire a studio, and when I do that, I sometimes have half written verses, not fully written verses. I write my verses in the studio, and that happens to me a lot of the times. You have to go prepared, but sometimes it just doesn't come to you, and you should not force it. Set the key before going to the studio, before going and searching for a producer. You can compose the song fully, and if your arrangement is fully done, you can you most probably have a key, have a chord progression, have variations to it, and figure out a lot of stuff. When you're making a demo, try singing it 2 semitones down and 2 semitones up. It helps you when sometimes while production अगर आपका गला खराब हो जाए, या at the end of the production you decide, या in the middle of the production you decide, nahi, I really want my song not in this register and it's not sounding like I want it to sound. You can pitch it 2 semitones down for a very different vibe, 2 semitones up for a very different vibe, and a little change can be nicer. And a lot of the times when you're performing your songs live, a lot of the singers, when they record this, वो अलग टेम्पो एंड अलग BPM एंड अलग की पे रिकॉर्ड होता है, एंड लाइव में अलग गाता है. सो इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर फॉर यू टू हैव अ BPM का रेंज, नॉट अ सेट BPM, and also okay for you to decide 1 or 2 keys that your song works in. That helps with creating more ideas around the song and blending in. If you have thought about a visual for your medium, it's best you must have had a lot of BTS. If you go to a lot of studios, I recommend you guys to always turn your camera on while in the studio, because that really helps with the BTS. BTS are very key in today's day and age. Content is the king. It's very important lastly for you to describe your sound, कि मैं इस आर्टिस्ट की तरह sound करता हूँ या करती हूँ. Your references should be in the back. If you go with these kind of things, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna achieve and you're gonna complete your track, even if it is half done. Go through, as a singer-songwriter, you should always go, before meeting the producer, always be ready for a jam. Do your vocal exercises at home. Stop calling your friends at the studio. Additional bonus tips: you can work with multiple composers, multiple producers. It's not an issue. Let's say, generally music producers don't change anything, but while jamming with the producer, you need to have an open mind, because a lot of the times you might not able to see your blind spots, and composer can change. या फिर तुम लोग jam कर रहे हो और suddenly you feel the urge to that it's not tight enough, यहाँ पे space ज़्यादा है, यहाँ पे कम है. So while producing, producer can also give a little input, and not a little input, a lot of the times producers give a lot of input and outputs, because most of the producers are very technical, but a lot of the producers are also guitarists and keyboards, and let's say they are Ryan Tedders also. So that is it. This is a guide for you, what you need prepared before reaching out to a music producer. Thank you so much.